In this Arc Raiders video, I want to showcase one of my favorite overall early game builds that's incredible versus the Arc as well as PvP situations in solo or in squads. It doesn't really matter. You're going to have a huge leg up when you use this in all these different situations. All right, so this combination is going to be centered around the Pharaoh and the Stitcher. The reason why I like this combination so much is because it's a great hot swap combination. What do I mean by that? So if you're using the Pharaoh, it is actually a pretty slow weapon to switch to, but the Stitcher is very fast. So if you're going to hit a player with a Pharaoh shot, boom, and then you're going to switch over to the Stitcher to be able to finish them off in whatever way you want. Now, some key things to know about this. I don't typically run attachments on the Pharaoh, but I've just found these just from my runs, so I just run it basically naked. The main thing I do is I level it up. When you get this thing to level 3 and 4, or you just level it at all, it's going to increase the reload speed of this, which is huge. Now, the main thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be primarily hitting things with one Pharaoh shot, unless we're fighting Arc. But if we're fighting a player, for example, hit him with one Pharaoh shot, and then again, we're going to finish him off with the Stitcher. That's going to be the main rotation of this particular setup. But getting the reload speed increased on this is huge. It's a noticeable difference, and you got to at least level this up to 3 or 4. It's not that expensive once you start gathering parts and things like that. So just constantly level up these great weapons because it's going to make them better. Now, the aforementioned Stitcher is going to be the main thing that we're using when we get close. Now, as you level this thing up to level 3 and 4, you are increasing the horizontal recoil control as well as reducing the reload time as well. It's really freaking fast when you get up to level 4 in terms of reload, and then it basically does not move side to side. It's primarily focused on vertical recoil control, which is not too bad whenever you are shooting from distance, but we're going to be up close and personal with this thing like I mentioned. So the main attachments I'm running with this thing is I'm running the muzzle brake to get further vertical recoil control as well as horizontal control. I'm also running the reduced recoil control from the angle foregrip, running the extended magazine from which is the light magazine, as well as I'm running the stable stock, which gives us some other general things as well. So keeping it real simple with all the great options. They're not that expensive to make. They make a big difference in the performance of the weapon, and it's going to be good from there. Now, before we go over the rest of the build, which is pretty self-explanatory, the main rotation of this is going to be this. So if you're fighting Arc, real simple, you're going to be aiming for example, this is a Wasp or a Hornet. You're going to be shooting the little engines with the Pharaoh, and it's going to take it off very easily like that. Now, when we're actually fighting players, this is where this gets interesting. So let's just say this player is right here. We're going to pop him with the Pharaoh shot, and then we're going to rush in with our Stitcher, slide in, hit fire, and start aiming down sight. You see how smooth that freaking was? It's very, very effective. I've gotten so many kills because nobody expects this. Basically, a lot of people, when they shoot each other, they like to play peekaboo. But in this situation, we're going to be full on aggressive. We're going to go hit, boom, slide animation, and then it is so accurate side to side. And when you're sliding, it basically counts as being crouched. So your recoil is basically nothing. And it gets even better as you go down some of the skill tree and things like that. But yeah, seriously, slide in, boom, we're going to take him out like that. Again, I'm going to showcase this a lot in a gameplay that I'm about to show you in just a minute, but it is just so freaking effective. It works so well because the hot swap capabilities are endless with this thing. Now, for the rest of the build, pretty self-explanatory. We're running light shield just because of the fact that it's one of the more readily available things early on. Now, I'm running the looting augment primarily with this because the other two ones at green level are not that valuable in my opinion. Now, when we get to rare versions, meaning the second level versions of these, there starts to be some differences. That's when you got to start making some decisions. But in this case, if you're running a green shield, I would typically run the looting one just because you get the extra backpack spaces, which in my opinion is more valuable early on. Now, when you're running the rest of your kit, I typically always run one grenade. So I'm going to run either one of the heavy grenades or something else. It doesn't matter. It's just great for being able to deal with players, rolly dudes, or whatever. Now, for healing, I typically bring in 2 bandages. That's pretty common stay for me. Now, I will bring in a shield recharger up to 5. I usually have a lot of them. So once you start getting a lot of these plentifully, make sure you bring a lot of heals in this regard. Now, herbal bandages are going to be something that's going to be a big difference in PvP because you get such a big boost early on in terms of healing, and it's going to be great there. So if you can bring in at least 2 at a time, that's preferable. But really, in reality, you're safe to bring in just 2 sets of bandages, maybe 5 total shield rechargers, maybe an adrenaline shot or something like that. So the combinations are endless, but just overbring heals because you never know what's going to happen. You get chip shot damage and whatnot. So anyways, that's the build in its entirety. I want to showcase it in action because I've had a couple of PvP moments that were really good as well as dealing with Arc situations. So anyways, enjoy the gameplay. We need a heat sink as well as we need to kill 1 snitcher. So we're going to keep going over there. Maybe get some PvP while we're at it. Dang old PvP. It's been quite spicy today. Solos is starting to get a little bit more spicy just because people are getting more gear, more confidence and everything. So I'm all for it. Oh, player right there. Yep. Just like I said. Question is, do we befriend this guy or do we go after him? If we get a good shot, we're gonna go after him. Just had a lure grenade to... He was here, so let's just be mindful. Okay, that arc saw us, unfortunately. Arc gave away our position, unfortunately. See if we can shake him. This guy up there. Up top there. Got him. Get our life together real quick. Get this arc out of the way. Knock this dude out. All right. All right, brother. Sorry, up. He's got an anvil on him, so we can swap out here if we need to. Anvil level 2 also. Shows how good that push is, man. Just freaking roll right into them. They will fold. Some more ammo back. Okay, we're gonna get out of here. So we're gonna keep heading toward research. We spawned in quite a bit late, so we got lucky that the player was right there. But that push is just so effective, dude. You hit him with the Pharaoh, and then you slide in, dude. Even with the anvil level 2, dude. Because we were so evasive, he did hit us twice, but he didn't get 2 clean headshots. Then we ended up tanking that away. If we feel like we can swap over to the anvil in just a moment. I'm feeling a little frisky today. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I think he's got a renegade. We got a renegade, I think, or a Pharaoh. We got another shot guy coming in. Trying to get my life recharge here. Might switch to the Pharaoh just for a more... Gonna switch to the anvil. That's gonna give us a better... A little bit of cheating there, but we got it.
You're a fucking pussy.
Bye. Loot this guy quick. He big mad. Heard somebody's shield recharged. Where did that guy's body go? There it is. Hurry up. No, he had a Pharaoh. Got a lot of shield rechargers on him. Place these bandages with those. Most everything else is not useful. So yeah, if we can level up in this situation, we're going to. So we still got the Pharaoh. But now we also got the anvil from that one dude, so we're just going to try and push with that. So that's one of the big things I like to level up to if I can. I'm gonna watch out for the arc here. I thought I heard a shield recharge earlier over here. So I want to be careful. We'll finish looting this guy. Oh, we need that. Put that over those. Okay, now is where we start making some decisions. Excellent raid, boys. A little bit of spicy PvP there. We upgraded. That's what I like to do. Pharaoh with Stitcher. Maxed out combo. Be able to take advantage of some close quarters PvP there. We ended up whiffing a couple shots there on that one dude, but we ended up getting him down in the end. But yeah, nice little level up. We got one of the things for the quest we needed, which was good. And all the rest of the stuff. So we ended up doing pretty good, and I like that. That was a good run. Get our life together. Quickly loot. Yes, I can. I'm getting shot at by somebody else. He ran off. He's down at the bottom. Took my kill. Heavy PvP right now, baby. Let's get our stuff reloaded. No rush. Yeah, Piazza Arbisto, that's what it's called. Nice little friendly extract. 3 or 4 people right there, very nice. Man, some spicy PvP that round, baby. So we got a few player kills. Few player kills, some good loots. Lots of ammo, man. Got an anvil upgrade, which is always good to have. 42k in kit size, almost level 22 now. So we ended up 1700 damage to raiders. We knocked 2 players. Yeah, overall Stitcher Pharaoh is an incredible combination. One of my favorites in the game, for sure. Alrighty, I hope you enjoyed this quick gameplay. We got plenty more to come, showcasing some of my favorite loadouts builds, as well as just some funny moments and things like that. Make sure you like, subscribe for more content similar to this. But anyways, I'll catch you in the next video.